how are you celebrating Heritage Day in the midst of a pandemic? It is indeed a first. So let us know. That number, 078-799-4480. Look, one of the objectives of Heritage Month is to promote the rich and diverse indigenous knowledge systems of South Africa. The other is to create awareness around the scourge of gender-based violence. The Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Nathi Mthethwa, joins me now live to discuss this and other issues. Minister, a very good morning to you. Happy Heritage Day.
Happy Heritage Day to you, Dave, this morning.
It's great to have you on the program this morning, looking at the various objectives of Heritage Day. Another one is to encourage, our living human treasures to champion the care of women and children within communities, and I guess thereby exposing learners and the youth to the richness of South Africa's indigenous heritage. How best can these human treasures do that?
Well, the question of how best they can do that and how much we as a society can to achieve that. You recall that as we celebrate South Africa's living human treasure, we've identified these three ladies: Dr. Esther Mahlangu, Bobo Madosini Mphaleni, and Oma Katrina Sa. So these ladies have dedicated themselves in their lives in developing young people, especially young women, girls, to ensure that they themselves become treasures themselves as young people.
Right.
So I think that what we've done, our part, continue to do, is to ensure that their legacy is preserved while still around, so that the master classes which we conduct with them will impart knowledge and experience to the young one continue.
So somebody listening at home asking, Minister, give us practical ways on how we can draw more from our custodians of cultural heritage, so that I guess we can learn better and, get a better sense of who we are as a people. You mentioned masterclass. What else?
Well, mainly that's that for us, because we believe that if these human treasures impart this experience, their knowledge to their people, that's an investment for the future. And we want to concentrate and emphasize that point, so that we know that tomorrow, if we lose, we'll still have people speaking the new language.
Yeah.
We'll have people who will be traditional painters for the whole world. Have people who are using, like Madosini, the instrument, the traditional instrument. And that for us becomes important, because that's our heritage, and we want to preserve that.
You're speaking about the Madosini. We're going to have a package very shortly with regards to this. Artists like Madosini want to preserve and honor the cultural and heritage, and she's passionate about this culture and the use of indigenous instruments. But Minister, when we talk about heritage, it goes beyond, I guess, just culture and traditions, doesn't it? Talk to us about the tangible and intangible heritage.
Well, you would know that culture, as opposed to history, is transmitted to the past. If you tamper with a revisionist, you take it as if, whether you like it or not, presented as such. But heritage is that which we believe is important as a people in the present, represent you, represent the future, takes the country and the people. In that instance, our heritage is very broad. As you say, both the tangible and intangible. One of the major heritage of is the culture of resistance and liberation. So you can't talk of heritage outside of that, because here are a people who've been visited by colonialism, apartheid, and so on, but they kept together. Something kept them together, glued them to, chart their way forward.
Yeah.
That's one of the areas. You have the very same heritage displayed in public spaces, which evokes both the intangible and intangible values of society. Because we choose who should occupy the public spaces. Because by that, we're sending a message that we identify ourselves, and this is who we are as a people, and therefore we want posterity to understand and acknowledge. So in South Africa, there is a big debate about the public symbols for the names. We had a discussion some few years ago about one town was named as Grahamstown, and many people didn't even know who Colonel John Graham was and how violent he was against the people of that. And we can't then have a Colonel Graham as our heritage displayed in the faces of people, evoking those painful memories about how our people were segregated. Right. So therefore, we have man who's Makata, because that identifies with our heritage of resistance and struggle.
So, you're speaking about this painful past, this painful heritage. What role can heritage play in, I guess, bridging the socio-historical divisions?
A lot. If you are in Tshwane, you have Freedom Park there, which represent inclusivity, which represent the future and the present. You have Voortrekker. These are people who have been fighting different causes, but we have a road which is a link road, identifying a niche we have for ourselves as a democratic South Africa of reconciliation. If you go to KwaZulu-Natal, you have Ingome Museum. You have the River Monument. There is a reconciliation bridge, which bridge the divide between the two in a symbolic way. And this is what we are preaching as a democratic constitutional republic, that one of the foundational principles for this democracy is reconciliation. And therefore, heritage plays a critical role in uniting people. And we hope that as we move and have this conversation with our communities, we will understand, appreciate the importance of heritage.
I guess one would say cultural understanding, which fosters social cohesion. We talk about what is our South Africanness at a time of Heritage Day. One of the challenges, I guess, the president has put forward for us is the Jerusalem challenge. Melissa, I want to play something for you very, very briefly. I hope you can see this. Eugene, let's just play this clip.
There can be no better way to celebrate our South Africanness than joining the global phenomenon that is spreading across the world, and that is the Jerusalem Dance Challenge. So I urge all of you to take up this challenge on Heritage Day and show the world what we are capable of.
uniting people. Here are the South African children, uniting the whole world under very difficult circumstances of COVID-19. They've got because South Africans are able to express themselves through dance, and dance is very important. And many people still feel and believe that they can just relegate dance. Dance is an expression of the people culturally, and it's important that we know, but also we can see the South.
Right.
And this is what the world has been yearning for after this very passing period of COVID-19. That is why when Palestinians say that they want to see Master KG to come there, we are going to be supporting him. We'll support him elsewhere because we have identified them, Nonomcebo, as a cultural ambassador for our cultural diplomacy as the department.
Because there has been some pushback from some people with regards to what the president mentioned in his speech, this Jerusalem challenge, when, things are not 100% correct in South Africa, when we're dealing with the pandemic, with everything that's currently going on in South Africa with regards to COVID-19, with regards to politics, with regards to social issues. For those, Minister, who are despondent today and saying, well, I don't have time to dance, I don't have food on my table, I lost my job, they're in low spirits, they've lost hope, they might have lost courage to fight another day. I guess Heritage Day offers us a chance to draw from our past, but by drawing from the past, how can it help us in the present and to the future?
Well, it will, because humankind is not defined to one track kind of situation. A human being is a whole being. There is both, as you said, intangible and tangible values attached to a human being. And you would have to service other part of your being, be they spiritual, be your identity, be your heritage, and so on. Those also need servicing as you need other servicing physically in your body. So we can't then say that we ignore this part, because when you do that, you are sending a message to society that anything creative, anything cultural is not important. And therefore, it gets translated where people think that artists and athletes are not important. They're important only if you want to entertain yourself. Yes, entertainment, but it's also education. It completes us as humanity. And without that, we won't be able to claim that we are human in the sense of the word.
Minister, thank you very much indeed. We run out of time, but we appreciate you coming on, for your insight, for your perspective. Well, have a great Heritage Day, and blessings to you and the family.
Thank you so much. A big Heritage Day.
All right. Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Nathi Mthethwa there. So you heard the minister also talking about, as a country, as we celebrate Heritage Day, artists like Madosini want people to preserve and honor their culture and heritage. And she is passionate about culture and the use of indigenous instruments to send a message through her music. Madosini has been in the music industry for more than 4 decades and is still going strong. She was also recently awarded an honorary doctorate in music by Rhodes University. Take a look.